From prisoner to prime minister, Joseph's unbelievable journey. There once lived a young man named Joseph, the beloved son of Jacob, born with a destiny far greater than anyone could see. From the moment he was given the colorful robe, Genesis 37:3, Joseph's life seemed blessed. He dreamed that one day his brothers and even his parents would bow before him. But rather than celebrate his destiny, his blood grew envious. His brothers conspired, threw him into a pit, and sold him into slavery in Egypt, Genesis 37:28. But what began with favor soon spiraled into trials that no one could have predicted. Joseph had dreams, divine visions of greatness, Genesis 37:511. He served faithfully, interpreting dreams with divine wisdom, and remained steadfast in his convictions. That's when Joseph was remembered. Called from the prison to the palace, Joseph stood before the most powerful man in Egypt. With bold humility, he declared, "It is not in me." God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer, Genesis 41:16. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him steadfast love, Genesis 39:21. Can you imagine? From favored son to a slave in a foreign land, it seemed like the dream was over. But God had not forgotten Joseph. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Even in servitude, the Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man, Genesis 39:2. Everything he touched prospered. But just as things began to look up, false accusations from Potiphar's wife landed Joseph in prison. Genesis 39:20. From slave to prisoner again, life seemed unfair. But even behind bars, Joseph chose not to become bitter. He held on to hope. One day Pharaoh had a dream no one could interpret. Pharaoh was astonished by Joseph's insight and spirit. A single day Joseph was lifted from a prisoner to prime minister of Egypt. Genesis 41:41. The dream he once had as a boy was now fulfilled. His brothers, those who betrayed him later, bowed before him in a moment of divine irony and grace. What can we learn from Joseph's journey? 1. Your beginning doesn't define your ending. Joseph was thrown into a pit, sold, accused, and imprisoned, yet he became the ruler of a nation. 2. God is always working, even in the silence. There were years when Joseph heard nothing from God, but in every low place, God was preparing him for the high one. 3. Character matters more than circumstance. Joseph kept his integrity even when no one was watching, and that integrity positioned him for promotion. For forgiveness is freedom. When Joseph finally faced his brothers, he said, "You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good." Genesis 52:20. He forgave them and used his power to preserve lives, not punish.